When the gods created the world, they eventually made creatures. Humans, elves, dwarves, all races. However, they fought. They fought a lot. Everyone went to war, fighting and slaughtering each other. So the gods and goddesses created a new race, immortal beings who could stop wars, a combination of all races, the Onyxes. They began with two Onyxes, two individuals known as the father and mother of Onyxes. They then created the rest. Every Onyx was born with one power from their father, Zynon. Zynon had every power that his children had, all except one. Zinco, the second eldest Onyx child. Zinco was known as the Onyx Leakin. He stood at around 6 feet tall, with short black hair and green eyes, as well as a large smile. He was a werewolf, a power that his father did also have. However, after many wars, his bloodlust grew, and so did his power. His observation skills grew to godly potential. He became so observant that he unlocked an ability not even his father had, arcane copycat. He began being able to copy fighting techniques, magic, special abilities, everything but the power of the gods themselves. Zinco even became able to amplify those powers, pushing them beyond their limits. His father and elder brother both saw this as a threat, saw him becoming too strong. So, with the help of another one of their siblings, Zinco's older brother sealed away his copying ability. Zinco was destroyed constantly, regenerating and being beaten and destroyed again and again. Eventually, Zinco's mind was shattered in two. One side was still Zinco, the happy, joyful, kind person he always was. The other side was different, more bloodthirsty, more hatred-filled. Zinco's hair and eyes changed, the joy and happiness becoming a deep, crimson red, filled with hatred. He became known as Calamity, Onyx of Destruction. Zinco was lost for hundreds of years, wandering aimlessly in the depths of his own mind. Eventually, he fought back against Calamity, and with the help of some allies, won. Zinco was awakened once more. Calamity was gone, or so Zinco thought. During a war, the Great Lich named Arnaz had Zinco's younger brother killed. And even though Zinco knew he was immortal, he snapped, and Calamity was brought out once more. Zinco was lost again in the throes of hatred and eternal rage. Eventually, a party of adventurers was able to bring him back through many tough trials. The only other time Calamity was released was when the Queen of Air and Darkness and the God of Trickery had killed Zinco's younger sister. Both of Zinco's siblings regenerated, but Calamity had already destroyed so much. Even while consumed by hatred, however, Zinco still held back, silently begging someone to stop him. Eventually, Zinco was accepted by the one person he truly looked up to, Senna, goddess of destruction, the very goddess who helped create the very idea for Zinco. Zinco became a champion of destruction alongside another archdemon, and gained the title of God of Cataclysm and Chaos. He no longer fought Calamity, he accepted him, and his mind was healed, the fractured pieces mending in a whole once more. Zinco even gained the ability to copy lesser and greater gods, amplifying their abilities and becoming one of the strongest beings in existence. His smile returned, bringing forth the peace he needed. Feats and accomplishments. During his time as Calamity, Zinco was able to become both an archdemon and an archdevil. He conquered and ruled the current bottom layer of the Abyss, layer 666. He also was able to easily best Asmodeus, ruler of the 9 Hells, in battle. So, he had been offered his own lair in the Hells, but refused, saying it would bore him. Calamity had won many wars, razing entire kingdoms with ease. He also had 2 weapons, 2 powerful weapons. During his time with his full mind, Zinco had gained access to 2 blades, 2 swords that he could summon at will. These 2 artifacts were the Blade of Chaos and the Blade of Devastation. Within the Blade of Devastation lived the soul of Asmos, an archdevil and son of Asmodeus. Asmos wanted his soul to be transferred into the blade to escape his father and help Zinco. Within the Blade of Chaos lived the soul of the archdemon who originally ruled Layer 666 of the Abyss before Calamity did. The archdemon was named Zetrus, and he deliberately asked Zinco to place his soul inside the sword. Both swords were very powerful, strong enough to kill anything. However, there was one more sword, the Blade of Calamity. This sword could only be temporarily obtained, and only when both original swords were combined. Zinco used it rarely because of the power it wielded and because of how exerting it was to use. The Blade of Calamity was strong enough to cut through anything. It could even kill creatures that could regenerate, stopping their regeneration almost permanently. These were Zinco's weapons, the very blades he cherished. They were the only people he truly had. Relationships. As an Onyx, Zinco was never allowed to love, only to train and fight. He never loved anyone, even when he needed someone to ground him. Zinco was, however, quite close to some of his siblings. Figo, his younger brother, was a good friend to Zinco, though they rarely talked when under the watchful eyes of their father. Zinco's older brother, Zolo, was seen as above his siblings. Zolo outranked Zinco in almost every way, or so everyone thought. In the scripts and stories of the world, everyone thought Zolo had killed the evil original god of thunder, granting him the title of the Onyx God Slayer. However, that was false. It was Zinco who had killed the god, but Zolo couldn't have his title tarnished, so he lied. Zinco also had another close ally, Ambrosius, an archdemon and ruler of multiple layers of the Abyss. Ambrosius had become the second champion of destruction, a champion of Senna. He also drank some of Zinco's blood, and with Zinco's blessing, allowed him to become a half-Onyx, gaining some of the Onyx abilities. Zinco had fought battles alongside Ambrosius, and because of his copying skills, Zinco was very versatile, often combining power with Ambrosius. Zinco had more allies as well, one of the most notable ones being the Lord of Shadowfell and God of Shadows, Shido Clarkson. Shido was a warlock under the Raven Queen and ruled over Shadowfell alone. As Calamity, Zinco had actually killed Shido once before, though he brought him back. Zinco was also allied with the deities themselves. Zinco allowed himself to be given the title of God of Cataclysm and Chaos, though he didn't accept being fully blessed into being a god. He is allowed to join council meetings and can copy the powers of most gods and goddesses, though he didn't want the responsibilities of actually being a god. Enemies. Zinco, or rather, Calamity, had many enemies. Most notably, the other archdevils of the Nine Hells. They all despised him because they were jealous of how Asmodeus saw him and favored him. Calamity was also an enemy to multiple powerful adventuring parties. Even the gods and goddesses themselves didn't truly like Calamity, except Senna, who understood him and treated him like a son. Goals. Zinco's goal is to do what Onyxes were originally meant to: stop all wars. Though he's never shared this goal with anyone, he truly wants to bring forth an era of peace and prosperity, stopping all wars.